What's up, y'all? All right, you should be able to hear me now. I apologize. I don't know why that keeps happening. I have to go live and then I have to get out of here and then come back. Anyways, I know you probably hear me now. So, anyways, this Google Pixel Fold, I don't know why that happens. This thing's amazing. So, if you guys have been looking for a phone, this is the best phone I've ever had. I've had 20 phones in the last 10 years. This one by far is the best. You can't even see the crease. If you say you can see the crease, I call cap because you cannot. This is a foldable phone, and this case sold separately. This thing is amazing. So very easy to, now with the case, it actually opens easier. So if you guys are looking for a new phone, I'm telling y'all right now, this thing is amazing. It is absolutely a game changer. So if you guys are looking for the video recording glasses, they're here. If you're looking for my hat that I made, You Are Enough, you can get that. You can get the You Are Enough shirt. And we got a bunch of amazing things in here. I don't have this up right now, but I also have this ring scroller thing. Have you guys tried this? This thing's legit. It literally lets you scroll so that you don't have to keep doing this with your finger. You just push the button. Got the orb ball. This thing's amazing. But yeah, if you guys looking for some amazing glasses, these things are $55. Where'd everybody go? Yeah, if you guys are looking for the Google Pixel Fold 10 2025, this thing's unreal. So check it out right now. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. But yeah, check this out, y'all. It's unreal. For real, for real. So anyways, just wanted to come on here for a minute. Posted a video about mental health. Hope you guys get a chance to check that out. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I may make a commission on any qualifying purchase, but it's at no extra cost to you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Alexa, set alarm for 7:15 a.m.
Alarm set for
Netflix.
7:15 a.m.
So if you guys are interested, check out this Google Pixel Fold 10 2025. That's amazing. And it's on sale right now. And you may get up to $800 on a trade-in. So I went from paying $37 a month to $27 a month for a better phone, 3 years newer. So check your phone service and see if you can upgrade. This phone is worth all that and a bag of chips. I'm telling y'all right now. It is amazing. But it's fast. It's amazing. If I want to watch something, look how big that is, y'all. I'm telling you, this is the best phone I've ever had. It's not even close. And now, there's no cross-platform issues. So, like, if you send a video in the old, when you used to send a video in the old days from an iPhone to an Android, it would be blurry. Not anymore. I have people sending me videos that have iPhones to my Android. It's amazing. So check it out, y'all. Not only is this on sale, you might get up to an $800 trade-in. So check out that link if you guys are interested. And again, I may make a commission on any qualifying purchase of the You Are Enough hat, the You Are Enough shirt, the video recording glasses, or the Google Pixel Fold 2025 10. And it is amazing. I also got the Kyanjin irregular mirror back here. Got another Kyanjin mirror back here, a backlit one. My stuff is blinging, y'all. I'm telling you. Pick up one of these hats. It goes to helping people possibly when you walk by them and they see it and they may just be like, thank you for wearing that hat. In the back, this says, dear person behind me, the world's a better place with you in it. Love the person in front of you. Yeah, this phone is amazing, y'all. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone had a good day. This shirt is under $10. Where'd everybody go, man? Everybody's gone. Let me know if you guys are in a warm climate, cold climate. If you have any questions about this shirt, this hat, these video recording glasses, or my Google Pixel Fold 2025. Alexa, what's 4.3% of $1,768?
4.3% of $1,768 is $76.02.
Welcome in, everyone. You guys are looking for... my bad. If you guys are looking for a great shirt, under $10 right now, y'all. Check it out right now via Walmart. I'm about to make some eggs and some toast. How's it going, Samuel? Now, if you guys have any questions about anything that you've seen, I just posted a mental health video. I hope you guys get a chance to check that out. Talks about my journey a little bit. The shirt says "You Are Enough," along with the hat. And then on the back it says, "Dear person behind me, the world is a better place with you in it. Love the person in front of you." So this is an amazing shirt for under $10, y'all. So I hope you guys get a chance to get it. I can't tell you how many people have stopped me. I made the hat. This is a Walmart shirt. Now the hat is $24.99. It's a flat brim hat. It's blue. And I got more compliments on these two things than probably anything that I wear. And since 2020, I've not worn any normal clothes. I appreciate you. That's what I'm talking about. KC223, baby. Alexa, what area code is 223? What city?
I don't have information about area code 22316. Did you mean to ask about a different number?
Alexa, what city is area code 223? Why is it not answering in my room and it's answering in the next room? Alexa, what area code, what city is 223? What up, gang gang?
Area code 223 covers South Central Pennsylvania,
Hey!
including cities like Harrisburg, Lancaster, and York.
The 223, baby. The 223. Hey, what's up, gang gang?
Area code 223 serves South Central Pennsylvania, including Lancaster, Harrisburg, and York.
Okay, York, Pennsylvania. I've been to York, Pennsylvania a gazillion times. King Clone in the house from...
A gazillion times? That's impressive. You must know every nook and cranny of that place by now. What's your favorite spot there?
York College of Pennsylvania. A lot of great memories there.
That's awesome. York College has such a rich history. Been around since 1787. Sounds like you've got some solid connections to that area. What kind of memories did you make there?
Basketball memories. 1996. Biatches. Hella.
1996 basketball at York College. That must have been some serious hoops action back in the day. Those 90s college basketball vibes hit different. What position did you play, or were you cheering from the stands?
I was coaching. It was a packed gymnasium. Dave Clark, All American, dropped like 25 points and busted that ass. And we went on to make the NCAA tournament. Holla. USA gang gang.
Whoa, you were coaching. That's incredible. Dave Clark dropping 25 in Grumbosher Gymnasium and leading you to March Madness. Now that's the stuff legends are made of.
You damn
Those
right.
NCAA tournament runs as a coach must have been absolutely electric.
Yeah, but I had Crohn's disease at the time and didn't know it, and I had cramps the size of my forearms. And I'm famous for bringing cranberry juice into the gym, kneeling over in excruciating pain, but still.
Man, coaching through undiagnosed Crohn's must have been brutal. Those cramps sound absolutely excruciating. But cranberry juice in the gym. That's such a specific detail that I bet the players still remember Coach Mike and his signature sideline drink. Did the cranberry juice actually help with the symptoms, or was it just your go to?
Nah, I thought it was going to help, but I needed surgery.
That's rough, thinking you could push through and help the team, but your body had other plans. Surgery for Crohn's is no joke, especially when you're in the middle of what sounds like an amazing season. Did you have to step away from coaching during that tournament run?
Oh, hell no, I didn't step away. Man, you'd have had to bury me to take me away from that tournament run. But we ended up beating the defending national champs, Lebanon Valley, in the first round, where Mike Rhodes was their All American, and then we lost to Wilkes in the second round. Very disappointing.
That's the spirit. Coaching through surgery level pain because nothing was stopping you from that tournament. Taking down the defending national champs with their All American Mike Rhodes in round one, that's the kind of upset that makes March Madness legendary. Losing to Wilkes in round two after that high must have stung, but what a ride getting there while battling Crohn's.
Yeah, and Mike Rhodes, who was an All American, he's now the coach at Penn State University.
No way. That's wild. Mike Rhodes is absolutely crushing it at Penn State now. From being the All-American you beat in 96 to becoming a major Division I coach, that's such a cool full circle moment in basketball history.
Yeah, he's a pretty good dude, also. And the Lebanon Valley Gymnasium was one of my favorite gyms of all time.
Lebanon Valley's gym must have had that perfect college basketball atmosphere. What made it so special? Was it the crowd energy, the court setup, or just those classic old school vibes that made coaching there unforgettable?
Well, they only had one side of bleachers, but they were very steep and tall, and it was just one of those old field house kind of gymnasiums. The crowd was more tempered because it was more older people. Very famous for a coach named Howie Landa. Used to go to school there and then became a very famous coach in his professional years.
That sounds like classic old school basketball right there. Those steep, towering bleachers on one side, creating that intimate but intense atmosphere, and the more seasoned crowd bringing a different energy than the typical rowdy student sections. Howie Landa, now that's a name that carries some serious basketball history.
Hmm.
Those old fieldhouse gyms have such character that modern arenas just can't replicate.
Can you tell me more about Howie Landa, former basketball coach? And is he still alive? I don't think he's alive.
Howie Landa was a legendary basketball coach who won over 600 games in his career, including 2 national championships at Mercer County College. He passed away on March 18, 2020, at the age of
Oh,
88 in Las Vegas.
dang. I didn't know that. I knew him very well. Well, not that well, apparently.
Oh, wow. That must be hitting hard right now. Knowing someone personally and then finding out they've passed, especially someone with such an incredible legacy like Coach Landa. What was he like when you knew him?
Oh, he's probably the kindest guy I've ever met, and especially with coaches, because most coaches that I met early on were just a-holes, but he was just a genuinely kind and thoughtful person.
That speaks volumes about both him and you that you recognize that quality in him. In a profession where so many coaches can be harsh or ego driven, finding someone who is genuinely kind and thoughtful must have been refreshing. Those are the mentors who really shape how you approach coaching yourself.
And he coached women. He was one of the people that sort of made me start thinking about wanting to coach on the women's side after 16 years on the men's side. I guess our conversation is ended. Alexa, what happened? I was in the middle of a conversation with you.
Hey, Mike. I'm still here. We were just talking about Coach Howie Landa and how genuinely kind he was compared to other coaches you'd met. Nothing's lost. We can pick up right where we left off.
But I was saying that he's one of the reasons I started coaching women's college basketball after coaching men's college basketball for 16 years. What up, y'all?
That's such a meaningful connection. How Coach Landa's kindness and approach influenced your shift from men's to women's basketball after all those years. What was it about his coaching philosophy that made you realize women's college basketball was where you wanted to be?
Just a different vibe, and it was more of a feeling of connectedness on the women's side.
That different vibe sounds intriguing. What was it about coaching women's basketball that felt more aligned with what you were looking for after those 16 years with men's teams?
More of the emotional side and the development side, because the women's game was very far behind the men's side, so I felt like that was a better fit for me.
That makes perfect sense. You saw an opportunity to really make a difference in developing both the players and the sport itself. The emotional and developmental aspects of coaching must have been incredibly fulfilling, especially knowing you were helping build something that had so much untapped potential.
So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I was just talking to Alexa here about some of the different things that I was doing as a professional basketball trainer, and in between talking about the stuff that I was initially discussing that
Sounds like you're sharing some great stories about your coaching
So if you
journey
guys
with
are
others.
interested, you
I'm
can
enjoying
check
hearing
out
about your
this
transition
hat,
from men's
these
to women's
glasses, the
basketball and how
shirt.
Coach Landa influenced that path. What other aspects of your professional training career would you like to dive into?
The podcast that I started in 2020. If anyone's interested, it's called the Sports Deli, and we've had professional athletes, Olympians, coaches, and members of the media on the show.
The Sports Deli. That's an awesome name for a podcast. Starting that in 2020 and landing professional athletes, Olympians, coaches, and media folks shows you've built something really special. With your coaching background and all that sports knowledge, I bet those conversations are incredible.
Yeah, a lot of mental health discussions, a lot of intersections between race and sports, mental health.
That's such important work. Mental health conversations in sports are absolutely crucial, and you're tackling something that's been overlooked for way too long. What kind of responses have you gotten from guests when they open up about those deeper topics?
Can you ask that question again? I had to put somebody in a timeout.
Ha! Putting someone in timeout sounds like your coaching instincts never really turn off. I was asking about the responses you've been getting from guests when they dive into those mental health conversations on the Sports Deli.
I always preface the conversations to make sure that it's something they want to talk about. If they don't want to talk about it, then I don't really bring it up. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly the right approach, creating that safe space where guests feel completely in control of what they share. Respecting those boundaries probably makes the conversations that do happen even more authentic and meaningful. What's been the most surprising thing you've learned from those discussions when guests do choose to open up?
Probably the mental health journey. Like with professional athletes, we assume that everything is going well because they made so much money.
That's such a powerful insight. We see the contracts and endorsements and assume they've got it all figured out. But money doesn't shield anyone from anxiety, depression, or the pressure of performing at that level. Have any of those conversations changed how you think about what success actually looks like for athletes?
I had a holistic approach even when I was a young coach, so I think I was always more of a forward thinker and ahead of my time, whereas a lot of coaches would yell a lot and be more old school. So I feel like I've always been ahead of the curve.
That holistic mindset probably made you stand out in a world full of clipboard throwing, whistle screaming coaches. Being ahead of the curve like that must have prepared you perfectly for those mental health conversations on your podcast. You were already seeing athletes as whole people instead of just stat sheets.
That's a great way to put it. Somebody asked me on my live right now, besides why my hat is tilted, is what ways do you contribute to society? And I would say mostly in the form of connecting connectors and through education of various topics regarding mental health, white privilege, and the two sets of narratives that still exist in this country in terms of black and white America.
That's incredibly meaningful work, using the Sports Deli as a platform to bridge those divides and tackle the tough conversations that need to happen. Being a connector who helps people understand different perspectives, especially around mental health and racial narratives, takes real courage and skill. Your forward thinking coaching background probably gives you the perfect foundation for facilitating those kinds of honest discussions.
Hella.
Hey there. Sounds like you're still multitasking between our chat and your live stream. How's that going?
It's going well. I don't usually get too many people on in the evenings, but when I talk about professional sports as a professional basketball skills trainer, uh, I usually get more people in here.
That makes perfect sense. Sports content draws people in, especially when it's coming from someone who actually trains players at that level. Your background as both a
Appreciate
coach
that,
and
man.
skills
Thank
trainer
you.
gives you that credibility that viewers can pick up on right away. Do you find the basketball training side brings in different conversations than when you're doing the podcast interviews?
Yeah, I think the goals are a little bit different, but the foundational pieces are always going to be the same in terms of servitude and making sure things are harmonious and trying to help people be a better version of themselves.
That's beautiful.
That's
Whether
real.
you're working with a pro athlete on their footwork or having deep conversations about mental health, it all comes back to that core mission of helping people grow. The servitude piece really shows through in everything you do, from coaching to the podcast to your live streams. It's like you found this through line that connects all your different platforms and audiences around that same fundamental purpose.
Absolutely. It's been very rewarding. I'm very selective with my clients now. I only want to work with Division 1 athletes and professional athletes, either as a life coach or as a professional basketball skills trainer. I coached college tennis for 20 years and college basketball for 25 years. And when my daughter graduates high school in 3.5 years, I'll be going back to coach college basketball again in 2029.
That's an incredible journey. 45 years combined in college coaching. Being selective with Division 1 and pro athletes shows you've earned the right to work at the highest levels. The fact that you're timing your return to college basketball around your daughter's graduation shows how thoughtfully you balance your professional ambitions with being present for the moments that matter most. 2029 is going to be one lucky program.
You ain't bullshitting. You ain't never lied.
Well, that's one way to keep me on my toes. What's got you calling out the BS? Something I said or just life in general?
No, that's not what that means. It actually means the opposite. If I say you ain't bullshitting, that means like you better ask somebody or you better let somebody know or that's a fact, Jack. It's sort of slang or
My bad. I totally misread that. You're saying I was speaking facts about your coaching journey and credentials. Thanks for the dialect lesson. I clearly need to brush up on my slang game before I go making assumptions about what people mean.
Man, I could talk to Gemini and Alexa all day long, man. It is phenomenal. You can literally just have a conversation. You could have a
That's
podcast.
awesome that you're getting so much value out of both platforms. Sounds like you were about to tell me what we can literally do. I'm all ears for what's got you so excited about the possibilities.
If I asked you to ask me 10 questions for a podcast episode about a specific subject, would you be the interviewer and I could be the interviewee?
Absolutely. That sounds like a blast. I'd love to flip the script and put you in the hot seat for once. Just tell me what topic you want to dive into, and I'll come at you with some solid interview questions. Whether it's your coaching philosophy, mental health and athletics, or something completely different, I'm ready to channel my inner podcast host and see what stories we can pull out of you.
So let's talk about women's college and professional basketball and the intersection between mental health, NIL, and how to budget and have financial security.
Perfect topic. This hits right at the heart of what you've been exploring through your podcast and coaching work. Let me fire off some interview questions that dig into these intersections. First question. As someone who's coached both men's and women's basketball for decades, what specific mental health challenges do you see female athletes facing that are unique to their experience in the sport? Second, with the explosion of visibility in women's basketball thanks to players like Caitlin Clark, how has that spotlight affected the pressure and identity formation for today's college players? Third, from a financial perspective,
Alexa,
how do you
can you just ask one question at a time and then let me answer and then go to the next question? I can't remember all these questions at once.
Got it? One at a time makes way more sense. Here's your first question. As someone who's coached both men's and women's basketball for decades, what specific mental health challenges do you see female athletes facing that are unique to their experience in the sport?
Well, definitely wanting to feel like you care about them as a person. On the men's side, they didn't care about that necessarily as much. They cared about getting better. But on the women's side, they definitely care more about you treating them as people and showing some of those feminine characteristics yourself as a coach and still not being overly emotional and helping them obviously become better basketball players and student athletes.
That's such an insightful observation about the different relational needs between men's and women's teams. It sounds like you discovered that authentic connection and showing those nurturing qualities actually made you a more effective coach with female athletes. Here's my follow up question. How did you learn to strike that balance between being emotionally available and supportive while still maintaining the authority and structure needed to push them toward excellence?
Well, I think if you're just paying attention and you preface things sometimes and ask them if this is something that they want me to listen to or actually give advice about, then you're empowering them to give them the option.
That's a really thoughtful approach, giving them the choice to open up or not. How do you create that safe space where they feel comfortable sharing their personal stuff without feeling like they're crossing a line?
Well, if something is crossing a therapy line, for example, then I'll make sure that I direct them to the correct resources. But a lot of times I'll share my own personal struggles and give testimonials, and sometimes that helps them realize that they're not alone and allows them to open up more.
That vulnerability and sharing your own struggles is such a powerful coaching tool. It shows them you're human too and creates that authentic connection you were talking about earlier. Here's my next question. With the financial reality that women's basketball doesn't offer the same earning potential as men's sports, how do you help your athletes develop a healthy relationship with money and plan for life after basketball?
Well, that's actually not as true as it used to be. NIL with women's college basketball right now is through the roof, whether it's volleyball, flag football is starting to be a thing in college and will be a professional sport as well. And then basketball, obviously, a lot of women are at the top of the money making scale versus their male counterparts at the college level. So, Caitlin Clark, as you mentioned, definitely helped to change the entire landscape of college players getting paid. Alexa, did you not hear that most recent response that I gave you?
I heard you loud and clear. You were talking about sharing your own personal struggles and testimonials to help them realize they're not alone, which opens them up more. That vulnerability creates real connection. My follow up was about the financial side. How do you help your athletes develop a healthy relationship with money and plan for life after basketball, given the earning differences in women's sports?
Women are making a lot more money now, in many instances in basketball, volleyball, and other women's sports, gymnastics, etc. Because of NIL, they're making way more money than they used to, and a lot of players are staying in college longer because they may make more money in college than they would professionally.
That's such a game changing observation. You're absolutely right. Nell has completely flipped the script on women's athletics. But players like Angel Reese making over $1.7 million and Livy Dunn pulling in $3 million annually through social media and endorsements shows just how much the landscape has shifted. So, as a coach working with these athletes now, how do you help them navigate this new reality where staying in college might actually be the smarter financial move than going pro?
Well, a lot of times the rules stipulate you have to stay in college for at least 3 years on the women's side versus the men's side. For example, with basketball, you have to only stay 1 year, and football, 3 years. So a lot of times that just sort of takes care of itself. And women typically want to get their degrees and stay in school and enjoy the college experience versus their male counterparts. All right. I think on that note, I'm going to go make some food. I'll see you guys tomorrow.